This week's about discipline, possibly the most boring subject in the world. You know that word that you always hear in the context of, I wish I was disciplined enough to. I wish I had the discipline to. Most of us actually resist discipline. The interesting thing is, I've worked, as some of you will know, a lot with sports people, teams, athletes. The key thing to them is the repetition of tasks over a period of time. That's basically what discipline is. That's how they develop their skills, that's how they get better. And they pull that into their personal lives as well, in terms of making sure they have the right rest time, in terms of making sure that they eat the right food. All of that comes down to discipline. Now, discipline is what gets you into good habits. That's the key thing. So think back to what we were talking about last week in terms of habit and the Tiny Habits book. So that was 3 elements that he identified, wasn't it? It was the motivation, in other words, the desire to do something, the ability, which is your knowledge and your skills, and then the prompt. Well, the prompt comes from discipline. So if you want to be disciplined enough not to eat biscuits, then what you need is to not buy those biscuits, not have them in the house, because when the desire occurs, then what you're not able to do is just very simply give in to it. There's other stuff you can use that we've talked about previously as well, like the Pomodoro technique, in terms of how you cut your day up into different chunks. The thing that I have learned about discipline for myself is that having routine is really good, and pre-planning things is really good. As long as I can remember, I resisted that. However, I also know on occasions that dipping out of that discipline, dipping out of that routine, isn't something that I should beat myself up about. If I end up doing it every day, then yes, I need to get back into it. But there's nothing wrong. It doesn't mean to say that if you are disciplined and you put some routine and discipline in your life, that it has to run your life in totality. You can still be a free spirit at times. You can still do things on the spur of the moment. It doesn't have to run the whole of your life. But without a doubt, it has to be present in part of your life.